Hi there, I am back with another sort of unboxing, sort of not quite first impressions review of, for some reason, another Nina Ricci perfume. This one is Luna Blossom. I have added timestamps below in case you want to skip the chit chat in the beginning and just get right to it, but there is going to be a little bit of chit chat, so let's get to that. I don't know what's going on here. I am not a Nina Ricci super fan by any means. I'm not really someone who buys things just for the bottles, but I think doing my mini perfume collection video the other day just put the idea of these cute little apple bottles in my head, since I did show this tiny little Nina Low, and I was saying that I had wanted to add a bottle like this to my collection. And I've just been up for some blind buys recently. So here we are again. Once again, I was looking on YouTube and couldn't really find any reviews of this in English, aside from a short mention in a compilation video by Soki London. She was going through all of the Belle de Nina line. But otherwise, everything I found was pretty much all in Spanish or Portuguese. I think I found one in Russian. So once more, hoping that this might be helpful for anybody who is thinking about buying Luna Blossom and wants to hear my thoughts. Let's go ahead and look at the box. We've got this purple apple here. It says Luna Blossom. You've got our shiny gold leaves. It says Les Belles de Nina. This is a 50 ml bottle. On the top, it also has that Les Belles de Nina in this pretty gold embossing. Again, that Les Belles de Nina, it's the line of Nina Ricci perfumes that come in the apple bottles. There is the red original Nina, the green Bella, and then Luna, the original, that comes in a blue version of this bottle. So Luna Blossom was released in 2017 as a flanker to that one, as a lighter edition intended for the Asian market. Sure. From what I understand, I haven't smelled Luna, but it doesn't sound like it has anything at all in common with this other than the bottle design. Luna is supposed to be sort of a sweet caramel gourmand, whereas this is the light fruity floral watery sort of thing. Anyway, so this is the box, and let's go ahead and open it for the first time. Got some writing here about scanning a QR code, registering your perfume, and receiving surprises, which I haven't done. I don't know. And then some instructions on how to use this perfume in case you need those. So this is one that doesn't have a cap. This is just a sprayer here, so it comes with a little protective sleeve. And then here you have it. This nice little purple apple with a gold stem and leaves here. Again, like with Bella, the glass itself is tinted purple. It's a slight ombre effect in the glass. You've got these two gold leaves, and then it says Nina Ricci on one of them. And then you've got this little purple ribbon collar design here. So again, this is a sprayer here. It takes a little bit of getting used to figuring out exactly where to aim this. I'm always expecting the spray to kind of come out here close to my finger as opposed to down here. So there are a few misses at the very beginning. I also have some questions about the durability of this. It's similar to the sprayer on the original Lolita Lampica bottles, and I feel like about 50% of the time that I've encountered those as tester bottles in the wild, the sprayer has been broken. So maybe that's just people who needed the instructions on the box on how to use this, and this is going to hold up, but we will see. One thing that I did notice is that in all of the pictures that I could find of Luna Blossom online, this collar part appeared to be an actual satin ribbon, as opposed to this one is plastic that has this engraved sort of wrapped rubber bandy pattern on it. So I don't know what's going on there. This is the same as you see on the regular Luna and the other Luna flankers. They all have the same pattern here, so I don't know if this is something that changed over time, if this is an older or a newer version of the design, but that is something that I noticed. Like with the Bella, it feels nice to hold. It has a nice weight to it. The plastic parts don't feel too cheap, so just a nice, cute little bottle if this is an aesthetic that appeals to you. Reading about this perfume on Fragrantica, it sounded like a pretty basic, sort of generic, light, watery, fruity floral, which is okay. Part of why I went ahead with this blind buy was because just about out of this Mariah Carey Luscious Pink, which is another one that sort of falls into that genre of very light, fruity, floral things. And so I thought instead of purchasing another one of these, because I have never liked these plastic caps, you can hear it's like just shaking around on there, just not so much my style, and I also hate the name Luscious Pink. I think it's a little bit gross. But this has been a good dumb reach for me over the years, especially for warmer weather. It's very office friendly, very light, doesn't bother people around you, and I think everybody needs a quiet, low-key something for days when you almost don't want to wear perfume but you want to put something on. In the Reminds Me section on Fragrantica, I was seeing things like Chance Eau Tendre, Marc Jacobs Daisy, and also from Lanvin Eclat d'Arpège, which I used to own, so I felt like I had a fairly good idea of what I was getting myself into. Nothing groundbreaking here, but that's okay with me. I was also reading that the nose on this fragrance is Fabrice Pellegrin, who did some popular perfumes, and I know there is a limit to how much this really means, because all of these noses have done just a huge array of perfumes, high-end, low-end, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt. For Lancome's Oud Bouquet, he did Valentina Pink, who's one of the noses on Jean-Paul Gaultier's Scandale, and then he did like 10 or 15 for Diptyque, including Dosan, Eau Duel, and Volute, which I don't own, but I have liked that one. And then he also did a bunch of Jo Malone's, including Nashi Blossom, which Luna Blossom also features Nashi pear pretty prominently. So just like last time, I have been wearing this the past day or so, but I'll go ahead and spray a little bit more on right now and try and aim this in the correct place. And you'll notice I did like 4 sprays there because this is a very, 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 very light perfume. My first reaction when I sprayed this for the first time is that it seems very, very, very similar to Marc Jacobs Daisy, and Daisy has always smelled very similar to Chance Eau Tendre to me. Although it has been a few years since I've sampled the Eau Tendre, I did have a tiny bit of a Marc Jacobs Daisy sample. I was able to get 1 or 2 sprays of this to test on one arm compared to this the other day, and I still think when compared side by side, they are very, 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 very similar. When I first spray this on, the opening is sort of a watery, juicy, kind of ambiguously fruity thing, which starts to take on the shape of a sharpish pear. Fragrantica says this is just a regular pear, and then the release notes say Nashi pear, which is an Asian pear. They're supposed to be bergamot, but I'm not getting too much citrus here. Maybe it's adding a little bit of brightness and a teensy bit of greenness, sort of like when you add lemon juice or lemon zest to a savory dish and it just sort of brightens everything up a little bit. It's fairly shampoo-y. If you ever tried, there's a line of shampoo and conditioner from a brand called Kristen S that you can get at Target that smells very much like this also. Not overly sweet, and I feel like sometimes you get a little bit of the hint of that pear skin feeling. And for me, I feel like this goes back and forth between that Nashi pear and then a regular pear. Sometimes it feels a little bit crispier and more watery like an Asian pear, and sometimes it goes sweeter and a little bit softer like a regular pear. Nashi is actually one of my favorite fruits to eat. My mom is from Korea, so Asian pears, or as she always called them, Korean pears, over there were something that we would often have as a dessert or a snack, and where we lived they were kind of expensive, so it was always sort of a special treat. So that is a nice kind of scent association to get this whenever it starts to lean toward the Nashi. So I've never ever really been able to pick out anything too floral here. I guess peony, since that's the, you know, sort of anonymous, watery, light floral note that you often get. Definitely nothing here that I would call jasmine, so none of that feel in there. Compared to the Daisy sample that I tried, I felt that the dry down of Daisy was a little bit grassier, a little bit more powdery and violet, whereas this stays fruitier. But pretty subtle differences and very close overall. Speaking of close, this does sit very close to the skin. So it's one of those ones that you can and arguably need to just spray and spray and spray, and it doesn't ever get to be too much. It kind of stays at the same level, so it's not a buildable scent, say. After about an hour-ish, I do think I have to sort of work to smell it on my skin. There's musk in the base, and I do think I am anosmic to certain musks, possibly including this one. I did ask my boyfriend once, and he seemed to have an easier time when I asked him if he could still smell it, so it could partially be me. But again, it's just a very, very, very light perfume that doesn't have a huge amount of lasting power. It definitely doesn't have a very big scent cloud. This is going to be a close-up, close to the body, quiet perfume. So overall, I think I came in with pretty low expectations, not expecting anything groundbreaking, expecting something kind of light and delicate and soft, just a simple fruity floral, and that is what this is. And like I said, it does remind me very, very strongly of Marc Jacobs Daisy and Chance Eau Tendre, which, you know, in the 7 to 8 years I've been collecting perfumes, I've never felt motivated to purchase either of those, so I guess that says a little bit of something. And yet, now that this is here, I do find that I have been respraying this over and over and enjoying the pear when I can smell it. So there is something about this that now that it's here, I have been finding it mildly addictive. I don't know how full this was when I first got it, but it already is looking like there's a bit of a dent there. Maybe this is one where you want a bigger bottle just because of how much you might need to spray it. So if you already have Daisy or Chanel Chance Eau Tendre, this is probably going to be a little bit redundant to have as well. But if you don't have something like that and it's a slot that you're looking to fill in your wardrobe, if you like something that's more pear oriented, or if this is just kind of the bottle aesthetic that you prefer, I think this could be a good option. It's pretty affordable. This one cost about $25, and I think that's fairly typical for what you see these go for on discount sites. Maybe go for the bigger bottle, since I do think you will want to spray a lot of it. As for whether this is a permanent addition to my wardrobe, for now it's doing enough, but barely, to keep it around for the time being. Would I repurchase? Probably not. It is a really cute bottle, and I am enjoying that pear note when I can get it, which is a little bit unusual for me since I tend not to be a huge fan of pear in perfume, since it often kind of does lean more shampoo-y, shower jelly. But there is something simple and charming about this. Mildly charming, softly charming. It's so light. And now we've got Luna Blossom, Nina Low, and Bella. So not the original sisters, but it's in the family. We've got some version of the family here. This is probably going to scratch that itch for the apple bottle for the rest of my life. We'll see. But yep. A cute and simple perfume at an affordable price, and that is my take on Luna Blossom from Nina Ricci. If you have any thoughts about other dumb reaches that you like that fall into this watery, fruity floral category, or whatever you think makes for an easy reach, or theories about what might compel someone to keep blind buying these little apple bottles, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you again sometime, and until then, goodbye.